Hello Suits fans and welcome to Common of Heroes Gamecast. I'll be your host, a.k.a, and this time we once again venture into the land of the Common of Heroes Balance Beta patch. That is actually at its 5th revision, nothing has changed from the last cast, and we have a vanilla matchup on Langer. I don't really know why every beta replay that is being posted is on Langer. Maybe it's because Langer is a really great map. Anyway, let's talk about the players a bit. That will be TOMITOMA, former Game Replays tournament champion and a very well versed player in Common of Heroes, and DaRealRocky, a really good player that has been around for a while. Actually, these two players faced off in the latest Game Replays 1v1 tournament, and maybe it's time for a rematch, I guess. So without further ado, let's go into the game. We are paused at the 5-second mark. We'll be unpausing in 3, 2, 1, go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, as I said once again, nothing had changed in the beta from the last cast. The changes in the Ver Tier 1 are still with us, so we get a second look at how they play out in this early game for this particular matchup. First observations are, of course, that once again TOMITOMA places his Wehrmacht quarters near the edge of his base sector, and he places such a way that, of course, it favors him capping the east portion of the map rather early, in contradiction to him placing on the other end of his base, that is. Pretty standard openings so far. First unit out of the... I was just about to say, I would expect first unit out of the Wehrmacht quarters to be an MG, because I've seen quite a few games of TOMITOMA, and MG opening followed by a motorcycle is something that he really likes. DaRealRocky stays true to the rifleman first opening, and probably is gonna follow it up with even more riflemen, unless of course he wants to spice it up a bit by getting a jeep in there. MG actually used to cap the strategic sector, thereby giving the pioneers some headway into capping the medium fuel point and the medium munition point. And as I said, TOMITOMA really likes the MG bike opening, or motorcycle, and there you go, the motorcycle is out. We'll spot those riflemen, we'll take some shots on them, retreat will be getting repaired soon, and the MG42 has set up into the that stone house, but promptly moves out of it in order to take on those riflemen that seem to be moving towards the west portion of the map, realizing that they will eventually have to face an MG42, and retreating with your rifleman squad is not something that you really want to do in the first minutes of the game, when your flank options are really limited. A third unit out now by TOMITOMA is a Volk squad, moving to the east portion of the map, following the MG42, the pioneers, and the bike. So we have a strong indication of TOMITOMA really focusing on the east portion of the map, and that of course gives the all the freedom to DaRealRocky to cap the west portion of the map. However, not being really aggressive with US early on may give the Wehrmacht player all the time he needs in order to set up his defenses, and by defenses I mean get even more MGs, put down some wire, put down some mines, and all that good stuff that that complement the Wehrmacht army. Engineers in danger of going down in the east under the fire of the MG42 will actually make it out of there, and will be reinforcing shortly. Fourth unit out of the Wehrmacht quarters for our Wehrmacht player is another MG42, and two riflemen tried to make their way towards the those Volks, but the MG42 promptly set up and suppressed them both. That's actually a really bad way for those two riflemen to retreat. The other MG42 has once again take its place into the stone house, taking on some riflemen, but the flame pioneers will be more than enough to force those riflemen out of the wooden barn and back into the into the north, where they will eventually force a retreat on those capping pioneers that actually managed to dig up the medium fuel point there. So it's a good thing to actually try to keep the American player off the fuel for as much as you can. And once again, two MG42s outside of the American player's base will force a retreat on those riflemen that were attempting to move there. And now DaRealRocky realizes that there will be a lot of suppressive fire in that particular area, and he has to set up a really good flank in order to force the Wehrmacht force out of it. Once again, riflemen making their way out of the base. One of them takes heavy losses near the opening in the hedges. Those two member rifleman squad, I don't know what they are doing. They actually went down to the fire of the Volks. Flame engineers tried to flank the MG42, actually managed to do so, and the MG42 will retreat. Rifleman still getting suppressed, but now another flamer that was making its way towards the area from the back will take cover in the wooden barn and will force a retreat on the second MG42. So the remaining forces for the Wehrmacht player there are two Volks and a bike. And our American player has lost a rifleman squad, so that's no good either. That's not good at all, actually. He even got his bar upgrade for his riflemen, but they are at really low health, most of them. So I'm not so sure how the bar upgrade is gonna help him now. Of course, he is gonna be getting more kills as a result of the increased damage of it. But he really needs to be wary of the Wehrmacht player getting another MG42 out, and 3 MG42s are really tough to break, even with bars. And of course, getting bars means that your taking will be delayed. You won't have the ability to get a vehicle early out, so the MG42s will be all powerful in the field. We are currently at the 6-minute 55 second mark, and as the players take their time to reinforce, and DaRealRocky actually harassing a bit in the northeast portion of the map, I'll say that the feature I tried in the latest cast, in the video cast actually, the peer-to-peer picture-in-picture thingy, was well received, and I will be employing it once again in this cast, probably in an improved version, getting rid of taskbars, increasing the zoom factor, and even moving the picture-in-picture in a less intrusive place in the whole screen, because last time, although it was kind of nice to see the battles unfolding at two fronts at a time, sometimes it even hindered your view on the main screen. So yeah, there will be changes there as well. Riflemen force off an MG42 in this portion of the map, and will be staying around trying to harass the medium fuel point there. Some medics make their way towards those riflemen. Probably they're going to be focused down, and yes, they are. So medic bunker, forget to mention, that has gone up for our Wehrmacht player. No tier 2 though, so I'm not so sure yet if the Wehrmacht player is going to continue with some heavy infantry play, or even getting some veterancy on his infantry. And although bars may be an indication of really heavy infantry play by the American player, usually if you have the luxury and the fuel, you could attempt getting tier 3. And let's see, yes, that's the case. TOMITOMA has just started building his Sturm armory, and probably is going to be getting his first Puma out of the Storm Armory shortly. Volksgrenadiers in danger of going down to those Flame Engineers nearby the Stone House, and we have an attempt by our American player to move towards the Wehrmacht player's base. Actually kills two of the members of an MG42 that was trying to make its way out of there, and we have a flank in the making, actually in progress right now. Flamers, barrel riflemen, force retreat on Volks, the motorcycle and the MG42. The motorcycle is even in danger of going down. No, it won't go down. I don't think the American player has demolition charges yet, so the med bunker will be safe for the moment being. And actually he could have used those Flame Engineers to take some health off the med bunker, but instead our American player used those engineers to cap the strategic sector, which is kind of weird since there was a rifleman squad nearby. Anyway, those riflemen will need to retreat, and yes, they are. However, they stayed there most probably to give sight to an artillery strike that's coming down onto the Wehrmacht player's bunker, and it will be taking out not really the bunker itself, but a large portion of its health. However, given the caliber of TOMITOMA's skill, I would say that med bunker will be repaired shortly. 2 Volks, 2 Pioneers, 2 MG42s, a motorcycle, no losses for our Wehrmacht player, 1 rifleman loss for our American player. Our American player, who even invests in more engineers. I'm not so sure if he's gonna get the flamers and those engineers as well. And I just noticed that I cannot see the manpower and the fuel and the munitions income for the player I watch, from the player's perspective I watch from, and that's kind of weird. I don't know, maybe it's a bug in the replay thingy of the beta. Actually, engineers hit a mine and will have to force to retreat. Riflemen once again moving in from several directions. No MG42 opening fire on them yet, just happened now. Motorcycle going down. Flame Engineers gain veterans in the process. Have the medics been taken down? No, some of them are still around. Engineers in danger of going down, but they will be hanging around trying to take shots on the MG42. Are those flamers going to be focused down? For the Father, of course, was being used in all that duration of the flank. Riflemen still in the stone building taking shots on those folks. I'm not too sure about how effective that will be in the end, since even if they kill some of the folks members, the med bunker is still around. Riflemen flanking from the west, MG42 not facing them. However, the mine is still there, will hit the mine. Puma is out for the Wehrmacht player, or should I call it STKFZ, the 234 armor car. And by the way, a kind YouTube viewer posted a comment on what exactly STKFZ stands for, and I'm really grateful for him reminding me that. And of course, it stands for Sonderkraft Fahrzeug. And if I did not mess up my German pronunciation there totally, that would translate, as the comment read, to a special purpose vehicle. And what's the special purpose of the Puma, you would ask? It's of course to destroy your riflemen. Folks capping the medium munition sector, and some other folks taking cover in the stone house there will be enough to take on those riflemen at low health that had previously taken cover in the wooden barn. And as you see on the tactical map now, although the American player did have a large portion of the west of the map in his control for most of the game, the map that our Wehrmacht player controlled was actually enough for him to take up. Usually, you really only need one medium fuel point with Wehrmacht in order to get your tech up and running, and that's exactly what we saw here. A solid early game by the Wehrmacht player, and that Rifleman squad loss by our American player gave him